Welcome back to Impact Math with Miss Taylor. Alrighty, we're going to be focusing on GED systems of equations, okay? So it says, where does a line with the equation x minus 2y equal 4 intersect with the line with the equation of this, okay? 6y plus 5x plus 4. So step one is we're going to solve x minus 2y equals 4 for x, okay? And why we're doing that is because we need an equation to plug into the other one. So I'm going to solve for x by looking here at my sign and doing the inverse, the opposite of minus. So I'm going to add 2y to both sides. This cancels, and I'm going to get x equals, now these are not like terms, so you write it horizontally right next to each other, 4 plus 2y. Now, what we can do is we can take this part of the equation, 4 plus 2y, and plug it in to our second equation. Okay, so I'm literally taking this and I'm going to replace it with that x because x equals that. So step 2, plug the 4 plus 2y in place of x, okay? So we're going to start by doing 6y plus 5. Now I'm putting parentheses because whenever you have a number attached to a variable, they're multiplied together. So we're going to do 4 plus 2y equals 4. And now what we have to do is our solving equation steps. We're going to distribute, which just means we're going to multiply. So we're going to drop down our 6y plus 5 times 4 gives us 20, and 5 times 2 gives us 10y equals to 4. Now we're looking for our like terms to combine those like terms. And the like terms are the 6y plus the 10y. So we're going to do 16y. I'm going to drop down that plus 20 that I didn't use equals 4. Okay, so now we need to get 16y by itself. We're going to do that by minusing 20 to both sides. So I'm going to do minus 20, minus 20. Okay, and then I'm going to move the problem over here. Okay, so we have 16y left on the left side. This 20 and 20 cancel out. And then we have 4 minus 20, which is a negative 16. And then we can divide by 16, divide by 16. We're dividing because, again, whenever you have a number attached to a variable, they're multiplied together. So to undo multiplication, we have to divide. And we divide by what's by the letter. So we get y equals negative 1. So now we can go to our answer choices and we can look at the points where the y is negative 1. So we can stop here and say A is our answer. Now, let's say if this was negative 1 and this was negative 1, then we would have to do the next step after that, which is, I'm going to show you step 3 in case you do have two options that give you a negative 1. Step 3, plug in the y, okay, plug in the y answer for this equation here. So what do I mean by that? So I will write this as x equals 4 plus 2 times, and I'm plugging in this negative 1 for this y. And so once we simplify this, 4 minus 2, and 4 minus 2 is 2. And so you can see how the x is 2 and the y is negative 1. So that is A. A is our answer. Alrighty, let's go to the next. All right, number 2. Where does the line with the equation y equals x intersect the line with the equation y equals negative x? So what we can do here is we can just plug in our points, okay? So I'm going to say it's C. So if I choose C, this is your x, this is your y, okay? I'm going to plug them into both equations. So I'm plugging in my point 0, 0 to both equations. And if it comes out true, then I know I chose the right answer. So y equals x. So I'm plugging in 0 equals 0. If that's true, that is true. So I know it works for the first equation. Let's see if it works for the second equation. Now remember, when you have a negative, that's a -1. So really you could write this as -1 times x, okay? So if we plug in 0 for y, then we're doing -1 times 0 for x. Well, -1 times 0 is 0. And 0 equals 0, so it is true. So C is our answer. Let me show you why these points are not true. If you plug in, okay, let's say you would guessing A. Okay, so if I was trying to plug in A here to this equation, y equals x. Well, x is 1 and -1 is y. -1 does not equal 1. So this is not true. So this, since it's not true, it cannot be the intersection point of where they cross. Alrighty, on to the next. Thank you so much for watching so far. Thank you for following. Hit that subscribe button, liking, and most definitely sharing. All right, let's try number 3. Which of the following is the equation of a line that intersects with y equals 4x plus 2? So what this question is asking you for is another equation that does not have the same slope as this given equation. So we're looking at our answer choices and we're looking at the number next to the x. It cannot be the same because we want them to intersect. So this is a little bit information that you have to know. Same slopes means parallel. And if you have parallel lines, they will never intersect. Okay, so if we just glance here, I see a -4. This is not the same as 4, so C has to be my answer. Now let me show you why. This one is 4, so it's the same. So these are parallel. So they will never intersect. Here, if we divide this by 2, so let me show you why A does not work. If we do 2y equals 8x plus 2, and we divide by 2 to everything, we end up with y equals 4x plus 1. See how this equation, when you simplify it down, has the same slope as that one? So again, A doesn't work because they will be parallel. They'll never intersect. And D will not also. Let me show you D. So if we can times, okay, we have 1/2 y equals 2x minus 7. To get rid of this half, we're going to multiply by 2. But what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So we're going to times this by 2, and we're going to times this by 2. So we get y equals 4x minus 14. So y equals 4x minus 14. See how it's the same slope as this one? So the only one that had a different slope was C. And since it had a different slope, they are going to intersect. Okay, on to the next. Number 4, where does the line with the equation y equals -2 intersect with the line with the equation 3y equals 2x plus 3? All right, so we know y is -2. So what we can do is we can plug in -2 into our second equation. So we can write this as 3. Remember, whenever you have a number attached to a variable, they're multiplied together. And we're going to show by parenthesis multiplication. So 3 times -2 equals 2x plus 3. So 3 times -2 is -6 equals 2x plus 3. We're solving for x right now, okay? So I need to look at this 3 and get it to the other side. So how I'm going to do that is I'm looking at the inverse of this plus sign. And so that means that we're going to minus 3 to both sides. So we minus 3 here, minus 3 here. So we get -9 equals 2x. Now, hopefully your brain is shouting, divide by 2, divide by 2. Why are we dividing by 2? It's because we want the x by itself, and these are multiplied. So we have to undo multiplication. So we're dividing by 2, and we get x equal to -9 over 2. So we can look at all our answer choices, and the only x that has -9 over 2 is C. So C would be our answer. See, we already know what our y is because it says y equals -2. So y had to be the -2. Okay, we are on a roll, y'all. Let's do our number 5 question. Number 5. Okay, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. I pray that it's blessing you and helping you understand systems for your GED test. So let's knock out number 5. If you want to pause it, think you want to try it, and then check your answer, I suggest you do that. At what point does the line with the equation y equals 2x plus 3 intersect with the line with the equation y equals -1/2 x minus 7? So since they both equal y, we can plug this box in for this y. We could substitute it in. So we can do 2x plus 3 equals, and then we could set it equal to this part right here, -1/2 x minus 7. Okay. Now we want our x's to the left. So I'm going to do the opposite of minus. I'm going to add 1/2 x to both sides. Okay. So we get 2 plus 1/2, which gives us 2.5 x. Okay, 1/2 is always 0.5 as a decimal, or you could say 2 and 1/2 x. Okay, we're going to drop down our plus 3 equals -7. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move this +3 to the other side. How are we doing that? We're minusing, doing the opposite of that positive. So we're going to -3 to both sides. And we get 2.5x equals -7 minus 3 is -10. Now we want x by itself. So we're going to divide, because whenever you have a number attached to a variable, they're multiplied. So we're going to divide by the number that's with the letter, the variable, which is 2.5. So now we're going to do 2.5 divided by -10, okay? Well, we're just going to do 10 in our little division. Now, remember, you can't divide by decimal, so you have to really move it 25 and then add another 0 to 100, okay? Because we moved it over once, so what we do to the inside, we have to move it over and do the same thing. So how many quarters are in 100? Well, there are 4. And then so our answer is going to be x equals, okay, a negative divided by positive is a negative, and then we know it is 4. So the only x that has -4 is A. And that is our answer. Now let me show you, let's say if we had 2 options with -4. You see how if it came out 0, we would have had to do the next step. So let me show you the next step. You're going to plug in this -4 into this equation here. So let's rewrite this. So I would write y equals 2 times, because they're multiplied, and I'm plugging in this -4 plus 3. So y equals -8 plus 3, and -8 plus 3 is a -5. So this is our y value, which is -5, and our x value is -4. And that is our beautiful answer. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I most definitely will catch you on the next one. Bye.